Many years ago, exactly 1 year after I was born, our former colonial masters brought two people from South Africa, two professionals from South Africa. One was a lady planner from Cape Town, and the other one was a gentleman who was an architect from Johannesburg. The year was 1948. The purpose of that visit or invitation was to plan the city of Nairobi, or to come up with a master plan for the city of Nairobi. At that time, it was a small town, it was a small marketplace, it was a small station for East African Railways Corporation. But eventually it was to become the headquarters of the East African Railways Corporation, and ultimately, finally, it became the headquarters of Kenya. Those two professionals planned for a city with a maximum population of 250,000 people. They never envisaged that Nairobi would grow to be a city with 3.5 million people. They never envisaged that there would be massive rural-urban migration. They never envisaged that Nairobi would be a business hub for the whole of East Africa. They never saw beyond 250,000 people. They never saw it build a small outpost. They never saw it build that. And today, when we look at our country and we look at the city of Nairobi, it's a very different city. It is a city which is very vibrant, the headquarters of very many things: journalism, lawyers, all diplomats, and many other activities. It's an industrial city. It's a place where there are many institutions of learning. It's a city with great hope and dimensions. But above all, it is a city where over 60% of economic activities of this country are generated. It is the engine not only of Kenya's growth or development, but it's also a kind of a capital for East Africa. That is what we have today. It is a city with a lot of challenges. It is a city with a lot of problems, but it's also a city with great opportunities for a lot of people. I think myself, when I look at this city with a growth rate of about 3.4%, 3.8%, I see this city producing every year a new town, a town with about 30,000 people every year in terms of birth rate. 40,000 people every year. That's a new town. So it means this type of a city has a lot of challenges to do with infrastructure, to do with social services, to do with education, to do with the transport system, and above all, a lot of challenges to do with the security. So this is the city and the county of Nairobi, as it is now known, and it will be known, that we are going to deal with. And I want to say that there are 3 or 4 things which are very critical to this county of Nairobi. And anybody bidding for the position of governor of this county must contend with some of these great challenges. I want to talk about our vision of this city, our hopes, and our dreams. As I said earlier, this is a city which nobody imagined in 1948. And today it's a very, very different city. But if we were to throw our minds forward, 50 years to come, 100 years to come, and we start with the next 10, 15 years, what type of a city are we talking about? We're talking about a city and a county which will be very critical in 21st century. It's no longer about the city of 20th century. is no longer the city of 19th century. It is the city of 21st century. It's a city which will be very different in 50 years to come and 100 years. I want to state about three things which are critical for the growth of this city. I want to give you an idea of my vision about this county. I see Nairobi emerging as Africa's business capital. When you talk about Africa's business capital, or a capital of business for a continent, what is it you are talking about? You're talking about a city which has a vibrant economy. You're talking about a city where transport system works. We're talking about a city where you have a modern financial system, modern banks, capital markets, and other financial institutions, progressive ones. We are talking about a city with good health services. We are talking about a county or a city where we have good schools. And we are talking about a city where educational standards are high. We are talking about a city which has adequate housing. We are talking about a city where water is clean and flows regularly to all homes. We are talking about a city which welcomes business and is prepared to support the private sector. We are talking about a city where the rule of law is the order of the day. In this city, we have a lot of single mothers who are both the breadwinners, they are the role models, they look after their children, and they have to go and do a lot of other things in order to add an income. We have to think about the challenges facing them on a day-to-day basis. We have to think about their concern. But the more important thing is that we have to talk about the concern for the education and health of their children. This is very, very important and very, very critical. As far as the youth is concerned, there is one sector which has not been addressed by anybody, but I think is very critical, is development of the entertainment industry and the film industry. We will create a major film studio in this city, in this county, in order to stimulate the development of the film industry. And in the film industry, you can create a lot of jobs for the young people. The film industry in South Africa was developed because Cape Town developed a major studio with the resources from the city council of Cape Town. Therefore, as we talk about this city, we are talking about a city of 21st century. We are talking about a city which will be Africa's business capital. We are talking about a city where we want to double the income of the people. We are talking about a city which is our home, which is the home of many people. It will be a home and a base for many international investors, international players, investors, and more. We are talking about a city where tourists want to come, live, and enjoy. We are talking about a city which will be healthy and will be vibrant. City with high standards. Talking about a city which will be the gateway to East Africa, the big Greater Lakes region, but more importantly, a capital city, a business capital city for Africa. Addis Ababa is the political capital for Africa. That's where you have OAU and many. For us, Nairobi will be the business capital of Africa. Therefore, the city of Nairobi needs a visionary leader, one who is able to not only manage the everyday affairs of the city, but one who is visionary enough to see far and to bring real transformation to this county. The governor of Nairobi is too important a job, and I want to emphasize this, to just give it to anyone. Let me repeat. The city of Nairobi needs a visionary leader, one who is able to not only manage the everyday affairs of the city, but one who is visionary enough to bring real transformation to the city in order to achieve those goals of a 21st century city. The governor of Nairobi is too important a job to give it to just anyone. You have to think very hard whom you give it to. I think I'm that right person. I believe I'm that person. Let me repeat this because some of you may not know. My name is Mbaru. I served as the chairman of Nairobi Stock Exchange for a long time, for about 12 to 13 years. We transformed that city. I was a member of National Economic Social Council for 2 terms, which is the required terms, and we helped to create Vision 2030. In fact, Vision 2030 was Mbaru's idea. The creation of Ministry of Metropolitan was my idea, Mr. Mbaru's idea. So, we want to transform Nairobi the way we see Kenya should be transformed. I want to offer myself for the position of the governor, of the first governor of the county of Nairobi, to help us to achieve this goal. I have total faith and confidence that we will do this. And I want you, ladies and gentlemen, when you leave here, to consider this done. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. God bless you all. God bless Kenya, and God bless county. This is my official position and duty to officially launch my campaign for the position of the first governor of Nairobi County. Thank you again.